Hey guys, it's Jackie here with Bouquet of Rocks, and I thought I'd do another video since it's been a while since I did one, and I wanted to talk about blushes today because if you've been following the blog, you'll know that I'm trying to do my own makeup for my wedding next year, and one of the things that I've been trying to figure out is what blush really stands out on camera, because I find that the regular blushes I would wear every day don't necessarily translate that well on film. So I've been buying all sorts of different brands and trying out different things. And this isn't going to be like a video just about what blushes would look good on camera, because I'm not even sure I've figured that out yet. Just in general, since I've been amassing so many blushes, I thought I'd just talk about some of my favorites. In case you guys are interested. And in particular, I tend to stick with drugstore brands. So if you're on a budget, this would be really good for you as well. And just as a quick note, the blushes that I tend to like are I do like pinks, but they tend to be more warm or neutral pinks or peachy blushes or coral. So if you're really interested in like blue toned pink blushes, stuff like that, I don't really have any good examples of that particularly. So everything I'm going to show you, in my opinion, is really good for the more warm toned blushes, and maybe the same brand or the same type of blush wouldn't be as good for the blue tone pinks and the cooler blushes, just so you guys know. So I'm going to start with some of my go-to favorites that I've been using for years, just as an everyday blush. And I'm going to start with this e.l.f. Studio Blush. And there's one color in particular that I really like, because I've heard mixed reviews about this one, or this line rather. Some of the colors I've heard don't show up very well, or like they don't really work very well as blushes. But I really like this color in particular. It's called Peachy Keen. It's a really light sort of peach color. And it has gold flecks in it, like sort of a golden sheen to it, which is why I like it a lot. Although the pigmentation isn't that great, what I tend to do is, because I like the gold sheen a lot, I usually layer this one on top of another sort of peachy blush to get a really, really nice effect. By itself, it's not super pigmented as a blush, but it's sort of like a highlighter to accent and deepen another kind of blush. So that's what I like it for. Or if you just want a really, really subtle kind of blush that just kind of gives a glow to your face, I guess it would be good for that too. But I like this one. It's a nice one to use in combination with another blush. And then I also really like these Essence Silky Touch blushes. I have two colors. This one is Babydoll and this one is Life's a Cherry. And these are really cheap. I think they were like two something. In Canada, you can get them at Shoppers Drug Mart or Pharmaprix if you're in Quebec. And these are actually really amazing. I really like these because, number one, they're super pigmented, like super, super pigmented. But like you can still sheer it out and everything if you don't want it to be that noticeable or whatever. But then also when you touch it, it really does feel like silk. It's super soft and nice. And I don't know, for a $2 blush, like I was really, really impressed. And they have a few colors. This one, Babydoll, that I use, I would use for more of an everyday, like barely there sort of natural flush. And then for the Life's a Cherry, I would probably use that one if I wanted a little more of a blush look. Like if I wanted my cheeks to be a little more rosy, that's the one I would use. So on to some of my newer blushes that I've been experimenting with, trying to find a good one. I'll start with this one from Annabelle. A couple months ago, they actually sent Bouquet of Rocks some samples from their, I guess, spring collection. And this blush I really, really like. It's just their Annabelle like powder blush. It's in Spring Petal. And it's a kind of really, really nice neutral sort of pink. A little on the warm side, but not super warm. And this again is a really nice sort of everyday blush that just adds a bit of a flush to your cheeks. And really you know, like pulls your whole look together. It's nothing crazy. It's not super pigmented, but like it does the job for an everyday kind of blush. So I like that one. And then I got this Milani Baked Blush in Corallina. And first of all, I have to say, this is probably the most beautiful blush I have ever seen in my life. I don't know if you can see that there, but this is a mixture of probably 4 different colors, I would say. Like there's a little bit of orange, some light pink, dark pink, some sort of creamy colors, and it's just such a beautiful, beautiful blush that really translates well on your cheeks as well. Like it gives you a really, really pretty sort of coral blush, and it's super, super pigmented. So like you just need to use a little bit to get a really pretty effect. And the only thing I would say that sort of scared me a little bit at first is, I don't know if you can see, but there's tons of glitter in this blush. And it took me like a couple of tries to really figure it out. But when you're applying this, it's really important to, after you swirl it with your fluffy brush, you really, really, really need to tap off the excess more than any other blush. Like I probably tap it like 10 or 15 times to get all the glitter out. The color will stay, but that will make sure that you're just not putting like a ton of glitter on your cheeks, which I don't really like. I mean, if you want glitter, then obviously like don't do that. But I don't really like glittery blush, and just tapping it like 10 or 15 times really gets rid of most of the glitter. So I would recommend that if you want to use this without all of the glitter. And then I got this e.l.f. contouring blush and bronzing powder in St. Lucia, and it comes with a bronzer over here and then a blush on this side. And I really, really like this blush. Like I love this palette in general because it, like the contour works really well as well, and you can use it as bronzer, and like it looks really nice. But the blush is beautiful. I've heard that it's a really good dupe for NARS Orgasm, which I can't confirm because I've never tried that blush, but it's basically just a really pretty sort of pinkish peach color with a lot of gold flecks in it. And like on the skin, it's just a really, really pretty natural blush. Like you can tell you're still wearing blush, but it's a really pretty natural color. So I really like that one. And then from e.l.f. I also got their blush palette. This is the one that comes with 4 colors, and I got it in light. So it comes with sort of a cool tone pink, and then one that's a little more orange. And then this one down here, I guess, would be more of a neutral pink. And then you have a sort of corally pink with a lot of glitter in it. And this was really new. I just got it, and I've really only used this one and the orange one so far, and I do like them. The orange one's pretty powdery, like it's really powdery, but the color is very nice. And then this is an example of a color where I would put this one on, and then I would put on the Peachy Keen from the Studio line, and it gives a really nice effect. And yeah, I mean, they're really pretty, and like you can't beat the value. You're getting four different blushes just for, you know, like $6 American, which I guess is like $7 Canadian. So like you really can't beat it, and it does cover most of your blush bases. You're getting sort of one of every kind. So I might check out their because they have darker colors too, a palette just for like really nice autumn winter blush colors. So I might get that one too, just to try it out. And then I got a couple of cream blushes because I thought, especially on film, maybe cream blushes would be more pigmented and show up a lot better. So first I got the e.l.f. HD blush in Superstar. And it's just like a little pump bottle, and you pump out the liquid, and the pigmentation is really good. But the thing with the cream blushes, if you've ever used them, is that a little bit goes a long way, and you really have to use a little bit at a time. That's really important, because then you're just gonna get like one spot of really, really pigmented pink, and then it's gonna look weird. You really have to go very, very slowly and build up the pigmentation layer by layer. And then obviously you have to blend it really fast, or else it's gonna dry and you won't be able to blend it, and you're just gonna have like a pink splotch on your cheek. And for these, I like to use my fingers, because the warmth really helps to blend it, and like you can really like when you're patting it, you can really adjust the coverage, and like I just find it a lot easier with my hands, but you can use a brush. I think that works fine too. And this blush is really, again, it's a nice everyday kind of blush. If you wanted to build up the coverage, you could get a really pigmented look that's a little less on the natural side, but like it still looks good if you wanted to show up better on camera, for example. And then I got the NYX Rouge Cream Blush in red, just right there. And this looks really scary in the pan. And like if you just swatch it, like it looks really bright, but obviously like you can sheer it out and get more of like a rosy kind of color. Again, like you just have to be really light-handed when you're using these and blend really, really, really well, and then you'll be able to achieve whatever effect you want with the blush. And I like this one. It's nice. It's a little bit, because it's like a pressed cream thing as opposed to this one, which is a liquid. It does feel a tiny bit oily, but after you put it on your skin and then you blend it out, like it feels really nice. It just, like the finish on both of these is pretty similar, even though they start out sort of differently. This one dries out, obviously, like it comes out as a liquid and then it dries out after you blend it, and you know, you let it sink into your skin. So for these cream blushes, or liquid blushes, I guess, I've heard that it's good to also set it with a powder afterwards, and I think you can build up the color that way as well. So generally I don't do that like on a day-to-day basis, because like you don't need crazy blush for your everyday life, but I'm gonna try that for photos and see how that turns out. But yeah, basically these are the blushes that I've been experimenting with lately, and some of my go-tos as well. If you have any tips or tricks that you want to share with me on how to get my blush to show up better on camera, please leave a comment, because I would really like to know. I'm trying to figure that out right now. And yeah, like if you have any experience with some of these blushes, or if there are other colors in the same lines that you really like, then let everybody know in the comments. And yeah, that's it for me this time. So I'll talk to you guys later.